So I don't know if I've ever done one of these before, but I feel like I should. And I feel like it's probably a good thing to, I don't know, not be honest because I don't feel like I've been hiding anything, but also like, I don't know, it's probably just good to tell you what I'm up to. Hey, welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Brame. I'm a 5-time award-winning entrepreneur and business strategist, and I teach multi-passioned creatives how they can generate sustainable revenue across all their outlets without burning out. Now, that typically means that my clients tend to have ADHD, but if that isn't you, don't worry, you're welcome here too, because my strategies will work for anyone who wants to earn an income from more than one business without driving themselves crazy. I felt like I should probably do a video about where I've been, where I'm going, and kind of recap the year. Now, I did another video about the way that this channel is going to pivot. So I don't mean that exactly. I more just want to give you, I don't know, I am a nerd who really loves to see under the hood of businesses and how people operate their businesses. And so I feel like I can kind of pay that forward by doing it myself. So I wanted to show you my different income streams this year, my goals for next year, and all of the stuff in between that, if that makes sense. Let me recap what has been happening in 2023. If you go back through my video history, you're going to see that I took a lot of time off this year from making videos. And like, I want to say it was because I was really tumultuous, and it was, but I don't know if that's the case. I think it was more my ADHD just finding other places to preoccupy myself with. But we did move. We ended up deciding to move in May, and by July, we were in our new home. So it was a crazy summer. And actually, I have a birthday present that I was making for my husband whose birthday is in July, and I still haven't finished it. It's now December when I'm filming this. So it's just been that kind of craziness. In addition to that, my job as a freelance writer has been really tumultuous lately. And I am still someone who thinks that AI isn't going to completely take over the freelance writing industry or any freelance creative industry, but it was a symptom, I believe, of a bigger picture where a lot of funding has gone away, VC funding for startups who were typically the clients that I would work for, fintech especially, and add on to that AI, and I think it's just been a really tumultuous year. So it's been not as profitable as it was in 2022. Just to put this all kind of in perspective. So we have a dynamic job going, moving, and all of the stuff that comes with buying and selling a house, moving into the new house, finding all the little quirks that the people left behind. Sorry. And kind of like finding your footing again. So looking back, I guess it's no surprise that this channel and my other platform, the Beige House, kind of, took a back burner, but I still wish I had given it more priority. I guess I'm only telling you that because I want you to know that if you ever feel that way, that, you weren't giving it your all, or if you're really someone who is naturally hard on yourself, I get it. And I am too, I understand. So let's all just try and give ourselves some grace, I guess, if we can. I don't know, we'll get there. In addition, I turned 40 this year, which was cool. I don't really care that much about aging, and I know that sounds like I am so much better than these people, but I don't. It's cool to hit a milestone birthday and see, kind of where my life is. I think that I am probably at the halfway point of my life, hopefully, and it's kind of cool to think about that and think about what the next half of my life could be like. Now, going back to the business side, turning 40 is an interesting thing for me because I used to joke in my 20s that I would never retire. Now that I have turned 40, kind of realized that might be the case, and it's not as funny as it used to be, especially when I am working in such a tumultuous time for freelancers, entrepreneurs, things like that. There have been a lot of really abrupt changes in the economy and technology and all of these things that make it pretty hard. So I've had a lot of I've had a lot of resentment lately about the situation that I find myself in job-wise when I'm 40. And to be fair, a lot of it is my own doing. You know, I am someone who, because of my ADHD, has a really difficult time being in the 9 to 5, or let's be honest, like 8 to 6 office environment. It's not something I can do, but it is what it is. And it's going to still have to be the path that I continue down. It's got really dark. Sorry. Let's go back to talking about the good stuff. So let me show you my income streams. So currently I have 2 to 3 income streams right now. And I say 2 to 3 because they're siloed, but also grouped. I know, right? Can you just pick a lane and stick to it? First off is my blogging platform, and that includes any advertising fees I get, sponsorships, affiliate sales, things like that. So because of my focus on freelance writing this year and not YouTube or blogging or things like that, my blogging bucket really took a hit just because I wasn't really prioritizing it. And also, one of my biggest affiliates, Shopify, completely destroyed the system that they were using, and they have a whole new affiliate program. Anyways, the reason I mention that is because it happens, and it's something that you really need to keep in mind, that however safe you think your income streams are, if they rely on someone else or some other company, it can always go away. Consequently, a monthly stipend that I was really used to for the past couple of years, gone. Okay, so my blog income up to now, because I don't know what December is going to be yet, is $450.11. So that's not great for me. Yeah. If you think about it, actually, I still made $450 without really doing anything about it. So flipping it around, that's pretty good. My next income stream is vintage jewelry and some vintage home decor. I kind of got away from that this year. So my total sales for eBay, Etsy was $1,952.14, which again is pretty low for me. Those used to be really, really good sources of income, but I have really gotten away from it. It's just not my thing anymore, I guess. And I've actually sold off a lot of stuff in bulk because it just, especially when we moved, I didn't want to deal with it anymore. Probably is not surprising why it's not making a lot of money. Now, my freelance writing, on the other hand, was my main bread and butter this year. My total for my freelance writing jobs was $36,555.31. I still was able to earn an income being self-employed and really not putting in huge amounts of effort, if that makes sense. Like, I still am lucky to have 3 steady clients, maybe 2.5 steady clients. I'm really grateful for them because they have been able to keep me afloat. Without them, I probably would have had to be more aggressive looking for new clients or things like that. And I haven't really been much, like, at all. So I can't complain, really. I live in a low cost of living area on purpose. We live pretty frugally overall. I think maybe, I don't know. I think we do. And it's good enough. And I think that that's something that I'm okay with. You know, like I wish I made more, obviously, but I can't be that upset when I wasn't really putting in a lot of effort. My total up to November is $38,957.56. So let's talk about the goals that I have for 2024. There's a lot of revamping that's going on. And just to quickly gloss over my other platform, the Beige House, this year I split my one channel into 3 separate channels, which I know, right? Like, you have ADHD, why are you making more work for you? But I started really thinking hard about what are the goals that I have for that brand and what is it that I want to do with it. And I realized that it really wasn't benefiting me to have just one channel covering houseplants, home decor, and DIY. Like, if I was a bigger influencer, maybe that would be okay, but if I want YouTube to play nice with me, then I have to silo these things. And so I split it into 3 separate channels. One's for houseplants, one's for my crafting, and one's for my home decor. It does make it tougher, and I have to accept that I'm not always going to have a consistent schedule there. But I think that YouTube is really great in the sense that it can still promote old stuff. So consistency is good just for the habit of creating content, but I feel like posting consistently is not as big of a requirement on YouTube as it is for Instagram or TikTok or any of those things. I could be wrong, but I think it's okay. As for like which channel of those 3 gets more attention is really just based on my availability, if that makes sense. I can't do a lot of houseplant stuff in winter, but I can do crafting. And then, it flips. Based on the engagement I'm seeing on those channels, I think it was the right decision, but stay tuned. I might be doing a recap next December where I say like I put them all back together. It was just too much. We'll see. So let's go into 2024 goals. My goal for Beige House is to get a plaque. I want to get 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. That's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie. I have like 1,400 on the main channel right now, and a lot of those are going to go away because I've split the channel up. Can I get to 100,000 in a year from 1,450? Why not? Let's go for it and we'll see what happens. And I also want to start getting brand collaborations on there. I used to do brand collaborations on my blog, but I got away from it mostly because I wasn't putting in a lot of effort. I got to be honest. Outreach and, nurturing relationships and things like that hasn't been a big deal for me, especially because the freelance writing has taken such a priority. So my goal for 2024 is to get at least 6 brand collaborations. So 1 every 2 months. Like I said, that might be a bit of a challenge. In terms of my setup, and this kind of goes for this channel and my other channels, I want to revamp my video workflow and I want to revamp the way I film. Right now, I have this setup here, and then also my sitting area over there. My crafting has an overhead camera and setup there, but I don't love it. I always film multiple videos at the same time. So doing multiple projects and things like that, it gets really cramped over there. And so my goal for all of my video endeavors is to create a new setup, and it's gonna be like right here. I'm looking through my monitor, so it's gonna be like right here. And I'm going to be hanging something here so that lights, camera, and monitor all go up there. That's gonna be my goal, is to create like a more permanent setup in the middle here that is for YouTube. And by the way, maybe I'll get into this in another video, but I'll just say it really quickly. One of the problems that I had about creating that idea is that I don't want people to think I'm weird. And what I mean by that is my in-laws or people that come to our house. But who cares? Like, I'm gonna just be anxious about them to the point that it prevents me from doing anything else the rest of the year that would be beneficial? No. So that's why I'm going to learn how to be okay with people knowing I'm on YouTube and making videos, and set up my permanent spot and be happy about that. I'm setting that up currently. You can see I have 2 boxes over here. I can't do this right. 1, 2, and then I have a 3rd box coming today. That's my goal. Now, and for this channel and platform, the goals that I have are a little bit more in depth. I also have the ambitious goal of getting my plaque for this channel, but I'm gonna be honest, I think that is probably way more ambitious than it is for Beige House because of the pivot of who I'm talking to and why I'm talking to them. So like I said in one of my more recent videos, I am moving from targeting freelancers and solopreneurs to targeting people who run multiple businesses and need help kind of streamlining that. It would be amazing if I could get to 100,000. I think that honestly, a more realistic goal, and even still pretty high, but one that I'm more shooting towards is 30,000. If I can get 30,000 subscribers here, that would be really awesome. I want to automate a lot of stuff this year, and I have invested in technology, software, whatever you want to call it, that will do a lot if I can get it set up right. I'm currently testing Rotilla and Zero Work, and how these things work. They are essentially frameworks that you build for bots or for things like that. The sales pitch for them is that if you can do it on a browser, you can automate it through these apps. And I say I'm using them both because I want to see which one I like better. I'm currently leaning towards Zero Work, but to be honest, Rotilla is cheaper, so we'll see. But it's my goal to really automate a lot of my administrative work and get that off of my plate so that I don't, one, have to rely on myself or a VA for that. I'd rather have a VA doing more high level things. And two, stop making myself feel guilty when I don't do it. And talking to the developers of both Rotilla and Zero Work to see what their thoughts are on what can be automated, they both say like everything I want to do can be done, but I have to do it myself. And I am not that person. So it might be beneficial for me to find a developer that can do this. I don't know. I'm also planning to move my email list over to a dedicated service. I invested in software called emaildelivery.com, and it's pretty complex. So essentially what it does, instead of using ConvertKit, you become ConvertKit. Like you have the ESP, the setup, and that way you control everything, which is pretty ambitious. And the reason that I was so interested in it is, one, it was a lifetime deal. So I could pay once and have the same capabilities as I do on MailerLite, which is my current ESP. But I used to use a service called Automizy, and they decided randomly, I'm sure they didn't find it random, but I did, to stop offering automation software. So email sequences, that. They decided to stop offering that. Their name is Automizy. As you can see, I'm still annoyed by it. And not give me any access to my old sequences so that I could copy them and move them somewhere else. So that whole thing just completely gave me a bad taste in my mouth for trusting ESPs. By the way, I like MailerLite a lot. I'm an affiliate of theirs and I always recommend them. However, this year they officially split up their services with Classic and New and moved me over to New. But all of my automation is on Classic, and this happened in September. It's December right now and I still don't have access to my automations. I have access to inactive ones that I wrote and just don't use anymore, but the ones that were running are not there. And to their credit, they are looking into it, filed tech tickets and things like that. They've been really responsive about it. But here we are again, so I want to control it myself, but it's not easy. It's not like just starting a list and going for it. It is building an ESP yourself. And that requires a lot of work. So between that and the automation steps, I'm in it. I'm in tech deep right now. And I'm sure there are people out there that can build these things for me. I know the language that I would need, but I don't know that I even have it all thought through on what it is I would want it to do and if someone is capable of doing it for me at this point. So this is all a learning process that I need to learn first, at least a base level on what it is that I am asking these things to do before I start paying someone else to do it for me. My next big ambitious goal for 2024 is to revamp my members library. It is my free service and has access to all of my downloads, all of my lead magnets, all of those things, and for a while was being updated monthly with new content. But then I moved and got crazy and I let it go. It's still there, but it has not been loved that much, I'm not gonna lie. So I need to really work on revamping it. And this is another big ambitious goal because I want to rework the whole framework and it is going to take a while. Now, in terms of staff, I currently don't have any staff. I used to have 2 VAs that were very, very useful and very helpful. But when the pandemic came, it was not a great place for me to be putting out more money than I was bringing in. And for the past couple of years, it's just been me. And that is something that I'm not thrilled about. I really want to have help in my business. So think there's like the idealist part for me and there's the pragmatic part. And Ideally, the people that I want to hire in 2024 are a video editor, a social media manager, and a community manager, but essentially someone who handles the community of the members library, as well as maybe comments and things. I'm not sure. Like I said, like I need to flesh this out more between idealist and pragmatic and what these roles would do. I also want to either rehire one of my old web developers or hire a new one who has more knowledge about programming and things like that besides WordPress. So ideally, I'd be hiring 4 people, but pragmatically, I think that my main people that need to be hired are the developer and the video editor. In terms of my email list, I do want to get that up to at least 5,000 people. Now again, that is a big goal because I'm completely moving my platform, which means I have to move the lead magnets, I have to move the automation, the process, the subscriber, the landing pages, the hookups on WordPress, like all of that has to move. And so we will see. If you're curious about personal goals, 1, make sure that I do at least 9 months of not going over my income. I've been really good about that this year, actually, about making sure that, let me see, so far, 8 months I have been in the positive. That means that I've gone only 3 months when I've went over my income level. And that is really, really good for me. I used to be really, really bad with money, where every month I was spending way more than I was making. Consequently, I got in debt. If I can do another 9 months next year, at least, of making sure that I am spending less than I'm bringing in, that would be really awesome for me. 2, I really want to build my savings. I am someone who, I want to say it was ADHD, but I think that's a contributing factor and not the only cause, but I didn't really take having a savings account seriously until I was like 35, 36. So consequently, my savings account is not that healthy. I would love to have at least 6 months worth of bills saved over there. And I have maybe 1 month. If I'm lying to you, I would say I probably have half a month of bills saved, and I would really love to have at least 6 months. I want to get back to dropping $50 a month in investing, something I haven't done in a really long time, and I want to start building that wealth again. I want to start taking my retirement investments seriously. I have 401k and an IRA, and they've been sitting dormant ever since, like 2019. I have not put any money into them. I'm 40, like, need to start doing that. A non-financial goal that I have is that I really want to finish the Draw a Box course. I would love to be artistic, but I can't get what's in my head onto paper. I don't know where to start, and I don't know how to do that. And so I started taking Draw a Box, and I got through the first whole part. I drew the boxes, and I did the lines, and I did all of that. And then the second part is like drawing plants, which for me, a plant nerd, seems really cool and something I should really want to do, and I haven't. There's also like a body goal that I have, and that is to move my body more intentionally, more regularly. I don't want to say exercise because that's just a block in my head. So I want to move my body more so that I make less sounds when I get out of bed. That's my main goal. So those are my really crazy goals for next year. They all feel really crazy but still attainable if I'm willing to put the motivation in to do them. And as you know, if you have ADHD, it's a great idea, but can you get that to happen? Fingers crossed for me and for you. Do you have any goals for next year? What are you thinking about? Leave a comment and let me know. I will see you in 2024 and in the next video.